Spoiler warning. The following discussion will contain spoilers. We recommend checking out the movie first, then coming back to hang with us. But if you don't care about that, glad to have you here. Alright, everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Real Review. My name is Kevin.
And I'm John.
And we are the Real Movie Guys. We'd like to welcome you back to Real Sports Month, where we talk about your favorite sports movies, some that you may know about, some you may not know about. Today, we're going to be talking about Goon. Is pretty much about a labeled an outcast by his brainy family, a bouncer overcomes long odds to lead a team of underperforming misfits to semi-pro hockey glory, beating the crap out of everything that stands in his way. Now, John, can you explain what a goon is to the fine people at home?
A goon is pretty much an enforcer on a hockey team, which is pretty much like a person that literally they're not very great at hockey, but they're great at fighting and hitting people and taking people out.
Boy, use your big boy words.
Fuck it.
So they're pretty much the person that will help out like the best player if they get smacked into the corner or they get hurt or they get like a cheap hit.
Mm-hmm.
The goon is always the person that will go out there and do like enforcement.
So right off the bat, would you say this movie does a good job portraying what a goon is and what a goon does?
I think this movie does a really good job with that. And I think it was also very interesting that they had this movie because hockey used to actually have a lot of these enforcer players and goon players around that have slowly gotten rid of it. Like I wouldn't say there's any goon players anymore, but this is a big like thing that they used to have in a lot of hockey teams where they have such guy as such a goon or an enforcer type player, which this movie also does. I feel like a great job where you see the passion that these fans have for like their team and stuff.
Right.
Which is like almost like where football is or like around the world. Like hockey is mainly huge in Canada.
Right. So your people at home probably wondering, Kevin, what's with the history lesson? Why are we learning all about hockey? I wanted to give some perspective on this review because I feel like it's important to the overall story, especially to understand what a goon is and what we're trying to go for in this movie. This movie's interesting. I'm going to give it that. I want to start with some positives I had. The first thing, well, let's get, as I like to start with the actors. Sean William Scott did a great job in this movie. A lot of you know him from American Pie. He's Stifler.
Hey, Stifler.
Stifler, role models. I mean, I could go on. This guy's, and he's a comedy, I don't want to say comedy legend. I don't know if that's the right word, but he's very well known in comedy in general. But
yes.
It's tough, the role he's playing, right? He's very charming and endearing as a character, right? He has a lot of likable qualities. He's a nice guy, really polite, but he treads on it gets kind of tricky here because I feel like he treads on someone. I don't want to say he's slow, but he's just not the brightest bulb. Would you say? I don't think he's mentally incapacitated in any way. I think he's just simple. Is the best way. Like he's not like everybody else, right? Is that what the main thing is?
Yeah, I think that's where they kind of going on a slippery slope with that
it's
too,
tough,
because
right?
they're not like they're trying to make this person seem out like they're not that smart.
Yeah.
But they're trying to define like a line of like in the sand of like where does it become like a mental problem, say, or a disability or something like that. They're trying to draw the line in the sand.
Yeah.
But in a way, I also think that they, in a way, push it too far. In a way,
You think
I
so?
would say, yeah. I wouldn't say that a lot of these Goon players would be like that per se.
Well, I don't think they're saying, not all of them are, which we'll get into, but I think, I mean, we're just talking about his performance in general, right? I think he walked the line just fine. There were times where I was like, almost like, all right, are you saying you're mentally disabled? Like, but I didn't get that. I think he was
Yeah,
just simple. He plays it simple and dumb. It takes him time to catch up to everybody else as far as, uh, showing his emotions, showing his feelings.
I don't have a thing, like you have your show, and my dad and my brother, they have their doctor thing. I don't got a thing. Everybody's got something but me.
That's what's charming and endearing. So the whole time you're rooting for him in a way. You definitely are. You want him to succeed. He's stuck working a dead-end job as a bouncer at a bar.
It says here that you have brown eyes? Come on. You actually have blue eyes in real life.
He's a very strong guy. He's ridiculously strong and powerful. And he finds, someone makes fun of his brother at a hockey game. His brother's gay, right? And he freaks out on the other hockey player that called his brother gay. And he beats the crap out of the guy.
Fuck is this? Oh shit, he's fucking kill me, little fucking faggot! Hey, my brother's motherfucker! Oh!
You don't really get that much in sports movies where he's very accepting and caring about everyone.
You want to take that wood back, please?
Fuck you, faggot.
yeah,
And he wants to do, the only thing he knows how to do is to protect people with his fists.
yeah, and he's very team first. It's always about the team more than it is about him.
And I believed it. Even though his performance, you can argue, treads on dangerous ground at times where it's like, all right, are you making fun of this guy? Are you... Which it is played for laughs. This is a comedy. Primarily, this movie is a comedy first.
You want to be an assassin?
Yes.
What number you want to wear?
69! Take the number 69! It's hilarious!
Is that never taken?
It's a dramedy overall, but I think it's a comedy first, followed by the drama.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But
Definitely.
again, regardless of that, Sean William Scott will say knocked it out of the park. The other character I love, obviously, Liv Shriver. Come on, the man's amazing. I mean, a lot of people give him crap for his portrayal of Sabretooth and X-Men. I thought he was one of the best parts. I don't know why no one talks more about him. He's Mr. Ray Donovan himself right here, all right? Lee Schreiber steals the show as, like, the grizzled veteran that's beating the crap out of everybody, and he just wants one more match. And, he's an intimidating guy. Like, you get that feeling when you see him beating people up, and he portrays it very well. He's very calm, cool, collected, but he's a prick at the same time.
Smitty thinks you look like Stevie Wonder on steroids, but I like it. Fuck you. Ooh, look at that face pussy that rookie gave you.
And he knows what he wants. That's I think more so than maybe Sean William Scott. Like if I were to think of a goon, Lee Shriver is what I would think of as like the goon character, the ultimate goon, the ultimate enforcer.
Yeah. I definitely agree. There's also two other characters that I like in this movie. I like Kim Coates, the guy who's the coach.
Yes, Tig
like
from Sons of Anarchy, for those at home.
Yeah, I feel like he's got a lot of good like lines and stuff.
All right, that's about all I can fucking stand, ladies. You know why we're losing? Because you're fucking shit.
He kind of seems like a coach that just that cares but then doesn't care.
It's like I feel like he's fed up.
That is the closest we have come to winning a fucking hockey game in over a month, and you just fucked us. You fucked us. You're not here to play hockey, Glad. You're here to fight. Hey, pretty boy, you find that funny? Funny, haha, like flushing a $5 million contract up your nose funny? Or funny, peculiar, like Doug there? You get your shit together. Because your shit stinks, Pepe Le Pew.
Right? Do you get that like impression?
Yeah.
Like maybe he loved it when he first started, but later on he just totally doesn't give a crap anymore. But then
Yeah, he's
sometimes
kinda
he's like kind of interested.
He's at like the end of his road. He's kind of like, yeah, all right,
Yeah.
whatever. This is minor league hockey, I guess.
Right.
And then I like Eugene Levy, which is his dad.
Well, Eugene Levy, comedy legend, right?
Like
he was
he
good.
just
He didn't
plays
have
it
much
so
of a
good.
role though. I thought he was gonna have more, to be honest, but he was good. I really liked him.
Well, I think they had to tread that lightly too,
Yeah.
because like he's a father, he's a Jewish father,
Mm-hmm.
and his one son's gay, and his other son's like a bartender or a bouncer at a club.
So what Ivy League school are you hiding at, Doug?
Doug did not follow in the family vocation. He's, I bounce.
Like a basketball?
And he's kind of like this other guy that he meets is like his kid's a doctor and his other kid's a dentist, and he's like, yeah, these are my kids.
Yeah.
And then like when they're at I think it was a funeral,
Mm-hmm.
and his one son's waiting for like his boyfriend to come.
Right.
He's like, oh yeah, he's just waiting for his friend, and they're looking at him and they're like hugging and touching each other's butt and kissing, and he's like, yeah, they're really good friends.
Richard!
Very close friends.
No, Eugene Levy definitely adds that comedy. You know, he plays the straight-laced guy, and he's great. He really is.
Yeah, definitely.
He plays that role well. A couple other positives. So, overall, I did really like the team. I thought. I really liked, the chemistry between the team. My argument, which I'll go into, I have an argument about that. But overall, I did like the formation of the team. I thought was fine. You had your comedy guys. You had the one I can't remember his name, but he's he just got divorced, or his wife left him, and that's like his constant joke throughout the movie.
You gotta work harder than them, okay? Get harder than them, guys. You know what's hard work? Going through a divorce. She's trying to get all my money now. She can have half of it. I don't give a shit. The other half, hard work, mine. Some guys on their team are fucking divorced. 3 guys there whose fucking marriages are in the fucking toilet. We're playing divorced guys.
He was really the only one I think that got extra screen time, and then the two, were they New Zealanders? Or were they just
Yeah, I don't know where they were from, but they were
where they were
funny.
from. They were funny too.
What's so fucking funny, giggly bits?
We have your mama right here. Oh, yes. Look at this beautiful smile.
There she is.
Say hello.
Oh, it's called fuck your mother.
Oh.
Work it. Yes, just like a belt check.
You fucking Chernobyl motherfuckers.
Your mother's pussy's so fucking tight. No way, baby, come out there. No way, you adopted.
I'm on your team. Does anybody else see this shit?
But they were great. I really liked them. But again, overall, I thought the team was good. I do
They
wish
kept
we got a little
comparing
more.
dicks.
You know, I didn't feel like we didn't get much about the team, which was kind of a letdown for me. I really wanted to get to know more of the characters. But we'll talk more about that later. I don't want to get too into that. So we got that part. Also, I thought the hockey action in this movie was excellently shot. The fight scenes felt raw and brutal at times.
I love
some of
the fight scenes.
There's 2 scenes in particular that I really want to talk about. So the first one was protecting the goal with his face.
Oh yeah,
It was by far one of the most gruesome things I think I've ever seen in a hockey movie. Just like the constant smashing him in the face and blocking the puck. It was gruesome, that scene. It really makes you cringe at times because you can feel the way they're shooting it. You can almost it's not shot poorly. It's shot very ordinary and very basic to where you actually you feel it. I don't know how to describe it. It's shot very realistic is what I'm going at. It's just smacking him in the face with hockey sticks and the puck bouncing. Oh, that just turned my stomach a little bit. And also the end fight was excellent. It doesn't disappoint, right? And I think that's the best part of this movie. The best story in this movie really is the whole Lee Shriver portion of the story about that fight where, you have Sean William Scott who has to overcome Lee Schreiber at the end of the movie. That's what it was building up to, that big fight. And that's what you wanted to see.
Kid, ready? Yes, thank you for asking.
That spectacle did not disappoint at all in that fight.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's a great fight.
I think that was probably the best. That was the best story being told in this movie, was that. And I would even argue, because this is based on a true story, which is strange when you look it up. There are some instances that are true. Like, for example, the part where the puck bounces off his butt and goes into the net.
Kim, let's the shot go. Look, he's gone.
That's actually a true story. That actually did happen to him. I think that was like it was one of the only points he scored. I think was that. Which is interesting, but it's true. It's a true story. It's just kind of funny. But like I said, I feel like this is the story. The movie wanted to tell that story. The Lee Schreiber portion of this movie that's the story that this movie was going for. My negative is the rest of the movie was okay. You know, it really didn't do much for me besides that part. Like when we get to the portion where we're building up that rising confrontation, that's where I'm really invested in this movie, and I can't wait to see what happens. The rest of it, I'm not really that much of a fan of. The romance subplot, I really didn't care for. I didn't think it was that interesting. I don't know what they were trying to go for that. Go with that. I mean, I guess you're trying to make him more endearing, but it wasn't necessary.
Well, I guess kind of weird. They gave these flowers.
Oh man.
These chocolates. Stuffed animal's a little dull. It's not really a stuffed animal. It's a stuffed Angus. It's the mascot of the team I play for, the Halifax Highlanders. It's a little toy. But it's official.
Fuck's sake.
No, it's hilarious. It's just a simple misunderstanding. You know, I'm fine. Okay, bye, Eva.
Bye, Doug.
Well, and the weird part is too, like that they had a second part or a second movie to this.
Yeah.
And like I watched that too.
Right.
And even after watching that, I still feel like they could have got rid of the whole romance thing.
Yeah, it just doesn't add anything.
The weird thing too is like in the second one they have this new like goon type guy.
Right.
Which if that guy was in the first movie,
yeah,
I think I would have even liked it even more, because he was such like a badass character too, that it was like definitely believable.
Right. But more focusing on this movie, like I said, I just didn't think the story, besides that portion of the movie, I don't know if it's that interesting, to be honest. I don't, like I said, maybe him going from bartender, to working in hockey, that's fine and all, but it feels so mishmashed. Is that the word I'm looking for? Like it's just a couple little stories, and then we get to the main piece that they wanted to tell. Like you could tell the passion was only for the end of this movie. At least in my opinion. Like they want to tell the story of the Goon. They want to tell, that big fight. That's what you're building up to. It's almost like a boxing movie where you're building, like Rocky's building up for that fight with Apollo. Like you have to show some little stuff in the beginning, but the real main event is the end of the movie. And I feel like we got that, but we didn't get much of it. It was really 15 minutes. I think was the end of the movie. That was like the main fight. We got to that confrontation.
Yeah, but I also don't think that they could have done like a half-hour fight like they did with Rocky.
Saying that, but I'm saying
like they could have just let it keep going that long.
I know it's hard because you're working with material that's a true story, right? So you have to tell it as close as you can to what happened. Now, I don't know all the facts about all these characters and whatnot, but I think you could have built a better story to maybe Lee Schreiber. It could have been built up better. I don't know. Again, you could maybe introduced him earlier, like a confrontation earlier, and maybe that inspired him or something. I feel like the story's interesting, but I think the only part that was really interesting was the end part of this movie.
Okay.
That's all I gotta say. Also, the comedy can be grating at times. Now, and again, I know this is a comedy. Jay Baruchel, who we know from, he voices the kid in How to Train Your Dragon. He's been in all the Seth Rogen stoner comedies. He's funny because he's Canadian, but he plays his friend, like a Boston accent kind of guy. He's the most annoying thing I've seen on the face of the planet in this movie.
Would it help that I want you inside me? That I want you to make lemonade in my chocolate factory? Hey?
It's just nonstop crude humor from him. And I like
that
crude
guy.
humor, don't get me wrong. And we all know somebody like that just talks like that. But it was annoying more than anything else. I didn't like him. It was just too grating for me.
Like last week, he called in pretending that he was from some fucking sweepstakes, and he told me that I'd won the grand prize of 50 cocks in my mouth. He goes, I have the option of sucking all 50 at once or one a month for 50 fucking months.
His performance was great. What he was saying was funny, but he's just so grating that I couldn't laugh as much as I wanted to from it.
Kev, I think this is gonna be another bad take, Kev.
I don't think so.
I thought he was good.
I didn't think
thought
so
it was
at all.
funny.
He was too annoying. He was too annoying, and he was just out of left field. I just feel like he's just thrown in there to like add to the like. There's other ways to could have shown the comedy. Like the team comedy was fine. Like when they were making fun of them, and they do have some antiquated thoughts, which again, whatever. It's still funny to me. I think it was funny, but his character was just it didn't work. Like I get him being like a radical hockey fan and being this foul mouthed person, but it just didn't do anything for me. I just didn't like it. I thought it was just too grating.
Douglas Menachem Glass!
Yeah, like I said, the plot overall was really unfocused, and you can see that a lot with all the characters as well. I mentioned before in the team, I did like the team. The only problem with the team is I didn't really know anybody else besides their one-note jokes.
Yeah.
I wanted to know more about, I wanted to know more or feel, give them some more scenes, show Sean William Scott hanging more with the team and having more interactions. Instead of maybe having that romance subplot, you could have kept something in minimally, but you should have had more interactions with the team. That would have been more, that would have built me more of their, especially more of their relationship.
Yeah, I guess I could see that in a way. There's actually the one negative that I have now.
Right.
I actually was just reading it, and it kind of made me laugh in a way because it's so stupid. They actually have cardboard cutouts of the fans.
Yeah. Well,
Like some of the fans are cardboard cutouts.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because I was going to bring it up too. This movie, I don't usually harp on a movie too much. If you can make a good movie, great, work with the budget you have. This movie hurt pretty bad from its budget. There's even factoids about the jerseys where they're not really jerseys. They're actually just sweaters that look like jerseys. Any of the main jerseys in the shots, they're called hero props. They're real jerseys. Like they actually got those made. But the problem is they didn't have enough money for all the teams because they have a couple teams in this movie. So the ones that are in the background are just sweaters that look like jerseys. Because they couldn't afford it. And you can even tell in the fans, like you said, you can tell there's some cardboard. You can tell some of the stands are empty at times. The stands fluctuate.
Well, here's my problem with the cardboard fans.
Yeah.
You could easily have any person, come in here and watch this and put like this production on ice, say.
Right.
You definitely don't need to pay these people. You could have just done it for like, hey, free,
Mm-hmm.
And that would have been like covering the stands. Like the fact that you decided to use cardboard cutouts seems really like just bad to me.
Yeah, my only other, like I said, the budget, it definitely hurts this movie, and it's a shame because I think they had a potential good story. Just wasn't there for me though. The only other negative I would have is we're supposed to really there's technically another, I don't want to say main character, right? But there is another hockey player that gets a lot of focus in this movie. Marco Belcourt, is that how you say his name?
Yeah,
Belchor. So he's is he French Canadian? I guess, or he's French.
French Canadian.
French Canadian. I think it's French Canadian. I'm assuming it's French Canadian, but I feel like you're supposed to care about him. I really didn't at all.
Coach. Well, one of you has really been impressing me with your play lately, and one of you hasn't. Either one of you want to venture to guess as to who's who? Okay, well, LaFlemme, I'm ripping that A off your jersey. You don't deserve it, unless A stands for asshole, which is the way you've been playing. Glad, you're promoted. Assistant captain. Good on ya. Keep up the good work. There's the game puck. I'm proud of you.
Thanks, Coach.
Xavier, you can take this the right way or the wrong way, son. Lady's choice.
Like, there's supposed to be this, like, relationship between Sean William Scott and George I can't even say his name, Jonathan Cherry. There's supposed to be like this big relationship between those two actors. There really isn't, like, at all. There's like no chemistry between the two of them. When Sean William Scott like quote unquote stops helping him as an enforcer, and then he realizes, oh, I should be really helping him having his back. I just didn't feel that connection between the two characters at all. It felt unearned and undeserved.
Xavier, are you up? I'm an idiot. From now on, no matter what happens, if you want to punch me in the face or spit in my mouth while I'm asleep, it doesn't matter. I'm always going to be watching your back. I think that we both have a light in our stomachs. A special light, like E.T. And the team needs somebody to light the way. My stomach light needs your stomach light. We can all phone home together.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like they were. It almost was like you're saying that they were trying to go for this huge like connection between these two.
Yeah,
and I feel like it never really happened. Like
right,
almost
and I
like
wanted that, right? Wouldn't you agree? Like you wanted that? Like I wanted that. Like build up that instead of focusing on some of the stupid outside stuff, like the romance subplot that really added nothing to the character, or even some of the earlier like family. Like it's fine that it's in there, but you should have focused more on that relationship. Like that would have been a good revenge. Like that would have been a good like I feel like that was trying to be the reason he wanted revenge against Liev Schreiber in the movie, because he like hurt his his quote unquote I guess captain of the team. Like he hurt him, but like I didn't feel that. I didn't get that. That wasn't a good take for this movie.
And I didn't even feel like they kept saying like how this guy used to be an amazing hockey player. He used to be great. Right? And then they kept saying it. And they're like, oh, well now he got an enforcer and he still wasn't that great. Like he wasn't blowing me out of the water great.
No, the only time he played decent was like the end of the movie. The very last game that they showed in the movie is when he actually played, he started scoring and doing well.
Yeah.
But like again, I just didn't. The buildup wasn't there. It was so. I feel like it was very mishandled. This movie. I wanted it to be. I think their main goal was to make this a hockey comedy, and I think when they interviewed Jay Burchell, when they talked about this move, when he was speaking about it, he said my main goal was I haven't seen enough hockey comedy movies, which is true. There's not that many when you think about it. There's been a lack of them. I know Kevin Smith was even involved in this at some point, which. Whatever. He's hit or miss too. But
I like Kevin Smith.
I do, but
he's a good guy.
There's a long. I like early. Let's put it this way. I like Kevin Smith up into a certain like period of his movies, and then oh my god, what the hell happened to me? Even he jokes about it. And as local New Jerseyans, right? We're from New Jersey too. We should be supporting him. I can only support so much of a guy. That being said, like I said, this movie went really off the rails for me at one point where it was too unfocused. I really didn't get into it. Like I said, I mean, Sean William Scott had me hooked a little bit, but really I didn't care until we got to the end of the movie. That's where my focus was, and I think that was the strongest aspect. The rest of it, hit or miss. That being said, we're at that point in the review where we're going to give our final scores. I'm going to give The Goon a C+.
Now circling in the neutral zone, looking for room.
For fuck's sake, kid. Stop staring at me. You're really weirding me out, eh? I'm sorry, sir.
It's still a good movie. I think it's enjoyable. It's an enjoyable hockey movie. Like I said, there's not too many hockey comedies out there, especially to see a time period where the Goon was such a prevalent figure in hockey. I think it's great. I think the action, the fight scenes are good. I think just the chemistry between Sean William Scott and Liev Schreiber will leave enough for you to enjoy this movie. So for me, it's definitely worth a check out. John, where are you at with this movie?
I give this movie a B.
So fucking proud. You are unfucking real. The stuff that that is fucking great.
Thought it was good enough to earn a B. I thought it was a good movie all around.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the fights were very good and entertaining. And I felt like the story was decent. That would offer it a B.
I can see that. I can see where you're coming from. For me, just wasn't enough there for me, but I could see where you're coming from. Definitely.
Yeah, like I could also agree with what you said too. Like it could have earned a C+, but I feel like it was a B movie. It wasn't like blowing me out of the water, but It was good.
I didn't regret my time with it. I'll say that. That's always a positive right away when I watch a movie and I don't regret watching it.
Yeah.
Is this the best hockey movie I've watched? Absolutely not. But it's successful in what it tries to do. So, for me, I think it's a fun time. It's definitely a watch. So, John, where can the people find us at home?
You can find us on YouTube at The Real Movie Guys. Like our channel, subscribe, hit the notification button, comment. We always appreciate some good comments and some likes. We're also on Twitter at The Real Movie Guy. And we're also located on very many platforms of podcasting locations, such as...
Yes, for your listening pleasure, we are also available in podcast form at iTunes, Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcast, Overcast, Breaker, Radio Public, and Pocket Casts. Be sure to give us a listen to any of those fine places. If you already are right now, hey, we greatly appreciate it. Just search Real Movie Guys. We'll pop right up. Thank you all so much for joining us for this episode of The Real Review. My name's Kevin. This guy over here, he's John. We are The Real Movie Guys. Real guys, real movies, real thoughts. And don't forget, this is Real Sports Month. Catch you next time.
See ya!